Do you watch AEW?
Some, not as much as I would, because my son really my son's a big fan of Kenny Omega, and he likes the Young Bucks. And I do think the Young Bucks are entertaining, but I have to admit, the first time I saw them introduced, coming in at a combined weight, and I thought this was a rib, because as you know, I used to weigh 589 pounds about 3-4 years ago. At a combined weight of 323 pounds, the Young Bucks of what? I weighed twice as much as the Young Bucks. Almost. That's a big difference.
Oh my
I
God.
outweighed them almost. Not that I weighed as much as the Young Bucks. Now I weigh about 330. So I weigh now almost as much as they do. But at one point I weighed 589. I was damn near twice the size of the Young Bucks. So I get criticizing them for the size and having it be believable that they can fucking whip anybody. That means something to me. I get criticized on Twitter quite a bit because I still go with the believability. Can the Young Bucks, can either one of those whip Brock Lesnar? All right. Well, the AEW fans think they can. And I cannot go there. You look at it, you look at a fight. If you're at McDonald's and Brock stands up and one of these Young Bucks stands up, you want to call the police and arrest Brock for even looking at him, because a murder's about to happen. Let's not let this shit go down. Please, somebody stop this. And that's how I look at wrestling. And no, Kenny, you're wrong, because wrestling's not real. Okay. All right. The endings are predetermined. I'm glad you all finally figured that shit out. But I still want to believe what I'm seeing. When I go to the movies, I want to believe what I'm saying. I know it's not real. I know the Titanic didn't really sink. I know that volcano didn't really erupt on anybody, but I still want to believe it when I watch it. Same with wrestling. And that's why I get excited for matchups to where it be Stone Cold versus The Rock. Okay, well, that looks like that could be pretty good. Or Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler, or whatever the case might be. But when I see these little bitty fucks, Kofi Kingston, we were talking about Kofi Kingston the other day. A man with a caved-in chest is now the world champion of the WWE. Well, I didn't buy that shit. Kofi, I'm sure, is a great guy. Never met him. Seems like a good guy. But the man's got a caved-in chest. He could not possibly weigh 220 pounds. And they're claiming he can beat these great big tough motherfuckers, and I don't buy it, and I don't want to buy it. Your opinion?
Okay, if you watch AEW TV, other than
I see enough of it to know what's going on over there. Yeah.
Other than the work in the ring, do you think? I think one reason WWE outdraws them.
Storylines.
Well, that's one thing.
Because the Bloodline storyline was a great one-year story. No one does that. No one's ever done it.
And that's what I kept saying on my podcast. They took their time with it. They had patience with it. They told a great story. We all saw it coming.
I tuned in every week. If I saw nothing, I had to see what was going on with the Bloodline. I used to not give two shits about the Usos. Didn't even think they were worth having on television. But there was a time that I kind of felt the same thing about Roman Reigns. And now I tune in. And the story was so, and then Sami Zayn. I've shit on Sami Zayn so many times because I said he should be one of the greatest bump-taking managers in wrestling. Give up this shit that you're a fucking wrestler. You are a manager. You got a great promo. You got a horrible look, and people will hate you. You look like Fidel Castro with red hair. So do that. Do that. And I would have thought he would have been one of the great managers of all time. That motherfucker is the most over person in the company right now.
Sure is.
Nobody's more over. And you and I have not talked about this. You and I have not spoke much since our Sports Kita days.
WWE, where they got them was here.
In the heart.
In the heart. Once you can tell a story that emotionally involves the people, and they never thought this is not real because they thought it was real.
Yeah.
These guys really feel this way about him.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And I have an old saying, the people will believe
Kevin Owens
till you give them a reason to disbelieve. And they haven't given them that yet. So my hats off to them. I think Triple H needs to
pulling
be
that off.
Applauded for taking his time with it And I think if Vince had stayed there,
nobody else would have given them that time. Nobody else.
Because almost they gave it so much time. Even I was saying, okay, guys, you need to pick up the pace a little bit. They already had the story.
Yeah.
But they had to drag it out to WrestleMania. So.
And listen to this shit. The match I wanted Sammy versus Roman. And I hear Roman wants to take some time off. I also wanted him to get to 1,000 consecutive days as champion. I said, well, it all depends on how bad Roman wants to be 1,000-day champion. Damn near 3 years. There have been longer, but there ain't too many that racked up 1,000 days as champion. You're doing something right when they keep the belt on you for 1,000 days. But I wanted, for a guy I shit on and said should be a manager, I'm now, a year later, let him beat Roman, because that's what the crowd wants. They will go fucking apeshit crazy if you let Sammy beat Roman at WrestleMania. No, it won't be the 1,000. Lose it 2 weeks later, a month. He doesn't have to keep it forever.
What about Cody?
I like Cody.
Wait a minute. I like this. When you say, I like Cody.
I like Cody.
You know it's coming.
And I know him.
But
I like Cody, and I know him, and I worked with him at OVW, and cried when he got called up because I thought the world of Cody. I haven't cried when too many people got called up, and I didn't manage Cody. I don't even remember feuding with him. I think I was primarily just TV commentary at that point, but I thought so highly of him as a person, and knew that he had overcome a demon or two, and just thought the world of him. But
Here it comes.
As the man who would beat Roman Reigns and become the world champion of the WWE after being over in AEW for quite some time, as I guess technically he was like part owner for a while, wasn't he? Him, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega were, I think it's.
I never understood the setup over there.
Yeah, that's the most I've gathered out of it, that basically it was Cody, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega that made AEW a thing, and then they used the money of Tony Khan to get it done with. We all need money marks if we can get them. Wish I'd have found him. But I don't think Cody is the man to carry the WWE title. But then again, who else over there is ready to take the belt from Roman and be a legit house drawing champion? And I have trouble coming up with a name.
Well, at least WWE has some avenues open to them. You know, the guy that's going to set waves over there.
What you got?
Gunther. He is over. Big time over. He's the Johnny Valentine of this new generation.
I'm going to tell you why I disagree. He's good.
We don't give a shit.
Oh, you give a shit. That's why you're sucking that cigar for the last hour, because you give a shit. I think he's good. I appreciate the weight he's lost and that he took his shit seriously and got in shape. I saw the old pictures of him. I had never seen him before in his NXT days. He's worked hard, no doubt. The promos are decent, but I think that who's the guy that puts his hand behind his back and he's got the haircut and he's very thin and lean? Not Gunther, and not the thicker guy, but who's the thin guy? What's his name?
I'm trying to think.
Can you help me out, Romero? Can you help me out, Roman Romero?
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
I thought you were doing your fucking taxes, to be honest with you.
No, I did those last week. That's another story. I'll look. You carry on.
Pay taxes over there?
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, the name of the guy, not the thicker of the guys who doesn't look like Gunther, but the guy with the haircut, and he's always got his hand. I love his image because, number one, he really doesn't look like he can whip anybody, but he has the confidence of Muhammad Ali, and he's with Gunther. He does not win a whole lot of goddamn matches from what I've seen. Somebody help me with his name.
Well, we know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
But
they need a third one like him. The other guy's got to go because he's nothing like Gunther or whatever his name is. And
Ludwig Kaiser. I found it.
That's the guy. Kaiser. How in the fuck did I forget that name? Ludwig has a great look for a little heat-seeking bitch. You just look, because everybody in the crowd probably thinks they can whip his ass. And when you go with the confidence he's got and that hand behind his back and that fucking smirk and confidence, I hate the fucker. But I know what he's doing and I still hate him. So that's when I really appreciate what somebody's doing. I think Gunther needs a little work on the promo, or he's going to need a manager to get him to that next level. But if they had another one that was just like Kaiser, that look and that build, that very lean build and that confidence, and they all three got their hand behind their back and they walk out in that little strut, God damn, that's over with me. I would never have thought to have done it. But if they could get rid of the one guy and bring in a third guy like Kaiser with Gunther, there's your managers. You've got two man, and Kaiser does a pretty good promo from what I've heard. Would you agree?
He
Not
does,
bad.
but I don't think he can do one along the lines of even close to the Rushmore guys.
No.
get-
He's nowhere near there.
To
No.
get Gunther over. Gunther gets over by himself. So we disagree on that, but I do like Gunther.
What does he do that you think gets him over? Maybe I'm missing something, because I probably don't watch it as much, because you all got to do the reviews and I catch it time to time.
Gunther just beats the shit out of them,
Mhm.
and they beat him back.
Yeah.
If you sit at ringside, when he throws that chop, you can hear it to the top.